Thank y'all so much for coming this afternoon. We greatly appreciate everybody here. And let me tell you what, I haven't seen a face of somebody that didn't have a part in this Tennis complex. So thank you. I would like to welcome our superintendent, Dr. Tim Smith, who is here. Muscogee County Commissioner, Commissioner Lumen May. Our school board member for District 3, Dr. Laura Edler. And we also have with us Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Mr. Steve Marcanio. The school board member and vice chair of District 3, Mr. Paul Fetzger. 2, sorry.
We'll take him in 3. We'll take him. We'll count him in 3. I mean, you can't do it by yourself.
And our school board, District 1 and Chairman, Mr. Kevin Evans. And District 4, Ms. Patty Hightower. I guess it is. Our Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Mr. Sean Dennis. And his secretary, Stephanie Baker. Yes, he's leading the plan. Our project team, Director of Facilities Planning, Mr. Keith Wasden. Our project manager, Mr. Jason Strength. And our architect is Nick King. Hope he was able to make it. But on behalf of our Tennis for Everyone committee, I'd like to welcome y'all all to our grand opening of the Tennis for Everyone complex and our ribbon cutting. For all of you here at Oakcrest Elementary, we are beyond grateful for everything that you have put together and brought to here so that our community could use. And now, without further ado, I would like to turn the mic over to Dr. Tim Smith.
Well, thank you all for gathering today. This is a momentous occasion, and these tennis courts look fantastic. Great job by the whole team. I want to tip my hat to Principal Bonifay. Linda Bonifay has done a tremendous job bringing people together and supporting and promoting this entire project. And so we tip our hat to you and to your team. Let's give her a round. And you see quite a dynamic team here. They're sporting some yellow shirts, and there's great spirit and support. And the community coming together for this project is simply outstanding. I want to thank Commissioner May for all of your support and all your help in making this happen. And we want to thank all of the community agencies who have come together, the community partners who have been so supportive and so excited about this entire initiative. I want to thank each one of you for being here. It does take a lot of people to unify and come together for good things to happen in our community. And this is going to provide a great opportunity for so many of our kids, which is what we're all about. And in our district, we are collectively united for all of our students to be successful, to experience great educational opportunities, whether it's in the classroom academically, whether it's in the band room or the chorus room, or on the athletic courts and fields. All of that comes together for our kids to have great experiences where they learn and they grow and they embrace new opportunities. And I thank you for being one of our supporters, one of our cheerleaders, one of our individuals who unites together, because it takes our entire community to be united, to be together, to be joined with one another for all the great opportunities that our kids have. So thank you for that. We're so excited about this project and for the many, many great days that are ahead of us in the East Killeen County School District. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. And now we would like Commissioner Linda May to come up and say a few words, please.
Thank God for Ms. Bonifay. She knew I was a politician, so she said a few words. But first, I would be remiss if I didn't, again, ask for applause as she retires. But her commitment to Oakcrest, to Bellheads, to Evanwood, the difference that Ms. Bonifay has made. Give it up to Ms. Bonifay, because we wouldn't be here without her. I can tell you all the text messages, all the phone calls, all the meetings. She was consistent in saying that we're going to do this before I retire, Commissioner May. And so we're very happy, and to the superintendent and his kind words, and Representative Edler, and all of my school board members who are my friends. I'm sure I'll see Patty in a few minutes at our next meeting. But let me thank Sean Dennis and his staff. Let me thank Michael Rose, Claire Long, Leroy Williams, and our staff for seeing the vision. I think this is the end product of how citizens would expect for us to operate. Government, municipalities working together. And so when you say tennis for everyone, when you look at the poverty, the blight, the things that happen within this zip code, the opportunity to play tennis has been excluded from many because they don't have the funds. And so as we thank our donors, we're very proud of the school board commitment and the county commitment. And today you may see an awning, you may see some concrete, you may see a coated court, but what I see is what Rita and David Mayo and many of us talked about many years ago. I see an opportunity for children to network, to communicate, to learn something outside of their comfort zone, to be able to take this sport that can last them a lifetime. And so if you had any part of this, whether you donated money, whether you donated time, whether you gave vision, you are helping generations. And so today, for me, it's not about a ribbon cutting. It's about a life-changing opportunity for our children. And for me, the greatest investment is in human capital. How do we invest in our children, not only academically, but how do we give them a quality of life beyond the classroom after they finish on the Oakcrest? And this will allow for them, the children, the grandchildren, their families, to come and enjoy this community. And I think it's an example of great government, of how the school district, the county, and the private sector work together for the good of the citizens. Thank you so much for letting me.
Thank you, Commissioner May. And now, Dr. Edler.
Thank you so much. Apparently, I don't know the definition of a few words. To Dr. Smith, the principal, Ms. Linda, you, your faculty, and your staff. To the parents, the relatives, and the friends who are here. To our district staff and the personnel from the school district. Community partners, and all of those who I unintentionally missed your names. And now to our young scholars that attend Oakcrest. Over 20 years ago, Oakcrest Elementary School was built in this community. Today, over 20 years later, we see the nation celebrate the first Black female to the Supreme Court. On April the 14th, 2022, the Oakcrest community celebrated its own first, a tennis court in this area. Now this ribbon cutting ceremony for the tennis court today, giving our children an opportunity to grow to develop, to become. The individuals within the confines of this Escambia County School District is a hard-working group of people. We're dedicated and committed to our next generation. We want them to do great things. And we realize that there is a barrier to them doing those great things if we don't do great things to help them do great things. We believe in the importance of reading, writing, and arithmetic. But do y'all really know how much money you can get if you know how to play tennis? I'm looking forward to the next Arthur Ashe, Billie Jean King, Serena Williams, and I'm going to stand before the world and say, I know them. Today's ribbon cutting is a small indication of what we can do for the next generation and for our community when we work together in partnership. I believe that we all want the same things for our community and for our children, but we've got to come together as one and support each other in the cause. My sincere appreciation to everyone who participated in making this day happen. I believe that it's important that each of you give yourselves a hand, because any part that you play at any time that you play it in moving our children forward is the right thing to do. I don't want to bring up sad things, but when I look at the number of young people who are being killed and who are killing themselves, I say that this community can do better, and it's time that we do. I thank you so much for inviting me and for you coming today.
Thank you, Dr. Redmond. And now, Ms. Cassandra Manish is the Director of Health Physical Education. Driver's ed? The Escambia County School District.
Thank you, Ms. Bonner. Some tough people to speak after that get to talk all the time in their path, and not so much me. So I was actually brought up here to teach you the brief rules of tennis, and then we're going to watch a match with some of your school board members. How about that? Ms. Martini, perhaps? Yeah, okay, all right. No, but with all jokes aside, this facility truly is a testament to something that Margaret Mead once said, a philanthropist. I never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world, because it indeed is the only thing that ever has. She's somebody that I believe in and I follow to this day, because those words resonate, and that's what this project is. It took, like Mr. May said, it's a community. This took everybody. Whether you, Ms. Sawyers, helped out with a professional development to train our physical education teachers so they can continue to teach our students, to our committee members, Leroy and Rita Dodson, and there's so many people that you've already heard some of the names, and I'm sure some more names will come up as you guys speak. Ms. Bonifay, you're a beacon of light who, along with the many others, and our passionate anonymous donor and mass support from the community, led us to this final point, which for the last 3 years it seemed like, were we going to get here? And so we finally did. But I don't think that I want to stay up here much longer than like the brief moments that I was given. So I'm going to say these last two things. A great tennis player named Andre Agassi once talked about how the game of tennis uses the language of life. Words such as service, advantage, love, fault, and they're not only elements of tennis, but of everyday existence. I believe sports that can teach us so much about life. It teaches us about goals, how to communicate, how to work together and problem solve. It teaches us to be respectful, patience. It teaches us leadership and resiliency. Sports can provide us many a sense of ownership and belonging, family sometimes, keeping us off the streets where the unknown can occur, because we are provided a safe place to play. And that's what Oakcrest Tennis Complex for everybody will do. The complex will foster many great things for many years to come. It's a community initiative from the start, and will be a community focal point from here on out in the Oakcrest Evanwood community. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, Ms. Bonifay, and thank you to everybody who showed up today. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Mooney. And now, Rita Dodson. She is our, tennis pro and Ryder Scott, and one of the major contributors to this complex and making this happen.
Thank you, everyone. This is what it looks like when a community comes together. Again, I can't thank Linda Bonifay enough. We had this vision, and Linda saw it through, okay? So let's give her another round of applause. She's gonna get many today. So the organization Tennis for Everyone was established in 2001. It was a way to provide tennis and take tennis to the underserved communities or those that would not otherwise be exposed to tennis. It has over the years grown into so much more. And I just want to kind of, there's so many individuals and organizations to thank, but we'll start with the United States Tennis Association, USTA, from the national level. They supported us, and USTA Florida section as well. And we have Navy Federal was always proud to step up and offer us financial assistance or any other thing that we needed. And GSI, and we'd like to thank Pensacola Sports. I think we have Amy here representing Pensacola Sports. Thank you. Be moved, right? And Commissioner May, I knew you win.
Long time.
Yes. Through UWF days and Salvation Army, when Commissioner May was there, we would go to his facility and descend upon the Salvation Army kids. They were a captive audience, as were all the other facilities that we would go to, and truly take tennis to these underserved communities. So I'd like to leave you with an Arthur Ashe quote. Arthur Ashe says, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can." And that's what we've done here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. And now, last but not least, Mr. Leroy Williams. He is the director, and I left my notes. He's at Evanwood Community Center and any other community center, right? Is that a promotion? Did I give him a promotion? He deserves it. Mr. Leroy Williams.
Thank you very much. First, I want to give thanks to Commissioner May and to Ms. Clara Long for giving me an opportunity to be a part of such a great organization of people just coming together to make this community better. And I'm going to miss you. We're all going to miss you. You're powerful, Ms. Bonifay. To the superintendent of school, first time to meet, but I'm just so excited. But at this time, I'm the one that have to deliver something that we didn't hope for, but it happened, but still the legacy goes on. We, the Oakcrest and Evanwood Tennis Court Committee, has been working tirelessly on this awesome tennis court project for the last 6 years. It is with great sadness that 2 of our committee members have since transitioned on to heaven. Mr. Joseph Miller passed away in the year of 2021, and Mr. Russ Crosby passed away in 2019. I want to, yes, they were great supporters. At this time, I just want to I see that the Ross Crosby family is here, and we're going to ask that you please stand along with Mr. Mike Vanderbilt. Awesome. He has contributed so much to our project, not only here with the tennis court, but he has done so many phenomenal things for the Everwood Community Center, and we're just so grateful for the support and the things that he has done and is doing, even though he's in heaven right now, dancing and having a great time. They both were dedicated to seeing the completion of this tennis court complex. Mr. Joseph Miller wanted to see the complex built on the north end of the school, which is where it is today, so he could watch the kids play tennis and make sure that they were safe. Mr. Russ Crosby dedicated the majority of his time seeking financial support to build the complex as you see. It is not, if it had not been for their leadership and support, we would not have completed this project. In loving memories of these two awesome men, we had a donor who donated 2 park benches that will remain here with this facility as long as this facility is here. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is dedicated to none other than Mr. Russ Crosby. Also, we have another one that is dedicated to Mr. Joseph Joe Miller. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our community partners and our donors for all your support. Those contributions made this tennis complex a reality. In my heart, I don't think anybody should be excluded from anything due to a lack of resources. And this community came together because we had a vision to make it a better place for our kids in this community. And this is what happened. This is the result. This tennis complex began with a dream of a few, and it grew into a community effort. And the true definition of teamwork, making the dream work, is right here in front of you. All right, I want to thank our project team, Keith Wasden, Jason Strength, and Nick King. They tolerated my phone calls, and as the commissioner shared with you, there were many. Mitch Mosley, when he answers the phone now, he's the grounds crew, and he answers, complaint department. I call him from my cell phone, so he knows who's calling. But they all needed to make this happen. I called Chuck Peterson on Monday. Today's Tuesday. Called him on Monday morning. And I said, hey Chuck, we have a brand new donated shed over on the east side of our complex. I need it painted. He said, what size is it? So 10 by 10. He said, okay, I'll send a guy out. So this was painted in the last 2 days. Yes. And Mr. Chad Sherry for our fencing, all the new fencing that you see, he was instrumental in making that happen. But I tell you, the girl behind the guys, the one that you call when you don't have all the answers, is Stephanie Baker. Stand up, Stephanie Baker. Thank you. Stephanie and I met Friday. We met in person on Friday. We've talked on the phone for 5 years. Let me tell you what. But she answered every time I call, and you know it comes up, Oak Crest Elementary, you know, and she's thinking, not again. But she truly made this happen. Thank y'all all so much. We have one unsung hero. You ever got to a place where you're like, man, I'm in over my head? Have you gotten there and thought, what am I going to do? I have no clue. Has anybody ever called you on the phone and say, hey, do you want post-tension or asphalt aggregate? Right? Well, they asked me. I said, can I get back to you on that? I knew nothing. Absolutely nothing. Played a little bit of tennis when I was younger, but I knew absolutely nothing. If I told you that this dream started with 2 men in a truck, would you believe me? It did, didn't it, Mike? Mike Vandenberg and Mr. Joe Miller in the truck, driving around. The next thing I know, they're sitting in my conference room, and Russ Crosby comes over from GSI. Russ is always there, he's got his hat kicked back. Russ has got his legs crossed. Mike is sitting back like he owns the place. Mr. Joe, I walk in, he's like, hey, Miss Bonifay, we're gonna build a tennis court out here. I said, hot dog, Mr. Joe, let's do it. So it was a dream of a few that made it happen. And thanks to all of you, it's a reality. But as Cassandra pointed out at one time, you know, Leroy said we've been working on it for 6 years, and we have. You may have only heard about it in the last 2. Because when I got in over my head, I sat back and thought, what do I do? I picked up the phone. And I called a man with the knowledge. And I called a man and said, this is what we're trying to do in our community. This is where we've been. I told him about the question that was, kitchen, and the asphalt aggregate. I said, I don't have a clue what's going on. And I said, I need some help. And that man said, absolutely. I will put you in contact with my team. And that unsung hero, the man that made this happen, is Mr. Sean Dennis, our assistant superintendent. He could have hung up. He could have said, no, Linda, I got a lot on my plate. And he does. But he didn't say that. And that man made this happen. And when you get him and Commissioner May together, I mean, it's just, woo! It's wonderful. So thank you, Commissioner May. You are truly amazing. And this was a partnership born out of love. And this is the result. And we hope that you enjoy it. This complex is going to be open every day after school at 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And it's going to be open every weekend. You can come play tennis. I want you, when we do the ribbon cutting after that, I want you to look in this cabinet. You don't have to have any equipment. You just have to have the time. There's rackets and balls over there. There's going to be there every day. So families don't have to have the resources. We're providing them. Come out with your family and enjoy some tennis. Thank you once again. I appreciate everything. And now, Superintendent.
We're not playing Sanders. We're not real good at it.